Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Lawson here with the Signal Over Noise podcast. And today we have Kayla from the Clear Creative Company. And she's going to tell us all about the world of advertising as she sees it and experiences it. And hopefully we'll impart some interesting thoughts and wisdom about how to better serve clients today. Kayla, I'll turn it over to you to introduce yourself and your agency.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm Kayla. I'm the owner and CEO of Clearly Creative Co. We are a social media agency located here in Miami. So we handle social media for our clients. We also do content creation, which is shooting photos, creating videos, editing that for them. And then we also do a bit of email marketing, but our bread and butter is social media. So you will see us running our client social media accounts as if we're them.
So let's start there. How do you become them and do that so well?
Well, our onboarding process is long. It's a month long. So many times agencies will onboard a client and clients will say, let's start posting next week. And people say, yes, whatever you need, because you know the client's always right. We actually do the opposite. We take a month to onboard clients because we ask them a lot of questions about their business because we're experts in marketing and social media. I'm not experts in, like, let's say I have a client who's a roofer. I'm not a roofing expert. So I'll ask them questions about their industry, questions about them, their mission, because each roofing company might be different. Very long questionnaire. It's like 80 questions. And then we take like a week to create like a 20-page strategy deck where we break down everything from word diction that we're going to use on your copy to how you are positioned with certain competitors and how we're going to position you, like basically the whole plan. Clients will approve it, and then that's what we use as our blueprint for all the ideas and everything that we will post online. So a lot of strategy that people don't realize goes into doing social correctly.
I was looking at your website, and I want to talk about some of your success stories. And the first one that comes to mind here, for a client, you increased revenue over 213%. So you doubled their business. That is fantastic. Tell us how you did that.
There's a client that we work with recently that was mostly, I wouldn't say boring, but it's let's say an electric bike, an electric bike company. It's not the,
Boring and marketing don't go together unless you do it really, really well.
yeah, it's
You know,
not glamorous. It's an electric ATV. It's fun. I personally love it. I love that type of stuff. But the difference there was that the client was very oriented towards buy now. These are the specs. This battery is can charge. One charge can make you 100,000 miles, whatever. No
talking
one,
about features and not benefits.
right, and no one cares about that.
Oh
So what we
no.
did is we actually didn't. They all were also doing very, very, very professional, polished photography. And nowadays, which I know we'll touch on later with the rise of AI, people don't want to see anything perfect. People don't want to see anything polished. So we actually were
Yeah.
like, hey, we're not going to shoot the content on a professional camera. We're going to shoot it on our iPhone. And it's going to be more human. You're going to see normal humans in it.
Right.
And we jumped on trends. We also talked about, like you said, like how someone feels using this instead of the features because it was a very expensive product. Along with, which is very important, we ran Facebook ads, meta ads. So social media, mostly when people talk about social media management, it's organic management, which basically translates to I will post on your feed for you. And whatever you are posting, your followers will see. That takes time to convert them into buyers. If you
Okay.
take it a step further and you give Facebook money, like ad dollars, which is basically advertising, that
Investment.
increases that, right? Which many people don't do. That's a separate service. So if you pair those together, it works really well. And we did that for them,
Yeah.
along with humanizing the content as well with our strategy. So it was like
Uh-huh.
well-rounded, but it worked really well, and we're super happy for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
What kind of, if you can share with me, for a roofer or a plumber or whatever, what kind of monthly Facebook budgets are we talking about? Does it take to make an impact and really start driving, customers?
We recommend $1,000 in ad spend minimum to see
A
anything. So
month
around
or
30,
a week
yeah,
or
a month. So
a month?
$30 a
Okay.
day on average is with the minimum that I would suggest. anyone spend, and that's in ad spend, so the money that they directly give Facebook, not the money that they're paying us to manage it. That the specific client that I was speaking about previously, they were spending around 3,000 a month, so around 90 a day. The more that you pay, the better results you get. But I always suggest $1,000 entry. Trying to go on the cheaper side and save money and do 500, you might end up losing some money because it takes more time to see if something's working.
All right, you put $1,000 in a month, all right, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not working, and you had to convince me to put 1,000 in. So what's that conversation like to get them to go from 1,000 to two or three?
It hasn't never worked for that. For if you give it directly to Facebook, like Facebook
Right,
advertising always
right.
works. If it's not working
Okay,
up to their expectations, which is a
okay,
conversation I've had with clients before, I'll say, okay, so next month we'll
yeah,
change the messaging but leave everything the same. And then see if it improves. If that doesn't improve, okay,
okay.
great. Let's change the offer. I'll tell a client, like, what is the experience after someone clicks on your ad? Because if your website or your landing page is crap, that's not my fault. There was a client that I had that we brought them like 50 or 60 leads within the first month, which was wonderful, but none converted because they had zero sales process after. Like we brought them the leads, but they didn't call them, they didn't put them through any system to send them emails. And then they got mad at us for it not working. And I was like, hey, it worked. You just didn't do
So
your
no SDR,
part.
no
Right.
SDR, no sales development at all. You know, on your website, you talk about this word aligned partnership. Neat idea. Tell me about that from your point of view. What does that mean to be an aligned partner?
So it is a very, if we are managing your social media, if you have us on retainer, and if we are representing your business or impersonating your business online, we have to be compatible. And there's so many things that I have over the years narrowed down to compatibility.
Hmm.
First and foremost, personality. Like, we're humans and humans first. So if I have a client, like let's say this conversation that I'm having on the phone with someone that's potentially going to be my client, if they're rude, if we don't get along, if the conversation isn't well, it's probably not going to work in terms of fruitful long-term relationships. So that's one
Hmm.
thing to see. Another thing is trust, but not hand off, not handing off into like, oh, you do everything, because you need to be a little bit involved. We look for someone who's going to see us as a partner, not as a complete delegation, because we need information from them, we need approvals, we need communication. Sometimes they'll be sending us photos or sending us emails or sending us things that are happening in their business because again, we aren't in their business every day. So I would say budget as well. Like if you are an established company that are either properly funded or have budget, great. I've worked with founders that are starting out that are like, "Oh, I'll pay you later. You know, I'll increase it later. Like, let's start with this." Or, "Oh, I'll give you equity in a couple years." No. If you can't afford to pay a retainer right now, I'll find someone else. And then industry, there's some industries that we don't work too well with. Like, for example, I try to be very strict with work-life balance, as you probably know that in the marketing and advertising industry is not well known for that. So after experiencing some of that myself in my early career, I said I'm going to be extremely strict with that. So for example, clients that are nightlife or restaurants obviously would want us to be posting on weekends or at nighttime. We don't work with because we post from 9 to 5.
How big is your firm? And, tell me about your partner, who I see on the website and in your social media. Is it the two of you who are the brain trust of your company?
No, so I'm the owner. I'm the sole owner.
Oh,
I'm the
okay.
founder. I started this 4 years ago. And then last year, I hired my first full-time employee, Reagan, who you see everywhere. And then we just recently hired Amber, who's our sales department head. So we're small. We're a team of three. We've had interns come and go. So been a team of three or four. We have a couple contractors that also help us. But
Uh-huh.
I always say we because everything's a team effort. And
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
even
what I gathered.
as big as we will become, they are included because this success is impossible without them.
Love it.
So
I love it. I
I love
love it.
that you
Yeah.
perceive her as a partner because she's great. But it's
Yeah, it comes through strongly on the website, and as
um
I listen to you speak, I just wanted to learn more about that. There are other agencies like you out there, and therefore you have to be unique in some way. I'm sure you're different in some way. How are you guys different? What is your brand? What would I know after a year of working with you that is different than maybe your competitors, if there are any?
We're not that much different. Like, we all do the same thing. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I do this so differently. We're all doing the same thing. I'm sure everyone out there is very talented. But what I will say makes us stand out a little bit is that first and foremost, we're human and we care. So many times people, and that sounds so cliche, but many times people say, like, oh, our partner, our clients are truly part of our family. And then, like, they forget about them and they don't care about the results and whatever. We care about our clients as people first. If our clients are going through something personally, that comes before anything else. Of course, like, we're a business, we run a business, etc. But
Yeah.
clients, I feel like after being with us for a year, people walk away like, you know me as a
Right.
person, I know you as a person. This is not just going to be like, hi, how's the weather? Give me your deliverables. We don't work that
Oh,
way.
that's great. That's great. As a marketing researcher, I've done a lot of research about what makes brands tick.
Mhm.
And if you can get to caring and if you can deliver caring, day in, day out, and it's just real, you can't get any higher in terms of values. And, at the end of the day, that's what people, being human, you've said that, and, delivering that care.
That's great because when I started out, I cared. I was born caring. Everyone's like, oh, I don't give a bleep. I was born giving so many bleeps, so I will always care about everything. But
Right.
that doesn't take you, that takes you halfway. So the other thing that I would say is what really sets us apart because sometimes people don't care that we care that much. They just want to see results, which 100% that's why you pay us. We are really backed by strategy. So we don't have like some crazy formula. Nowadays online, you're like, follow this hack, do this, and you'll go viral. We take it back to like textbook marketing that I'm sure you're an expert in, which is like buyer psychology. So let's say the buyer's journey. Like you have to go through the buyer's a funnel, right? So each post is either a stage of the funnel. You're either considering us, you're being aware, you're purchasing, or we're retaining you. And we make content for those four channels.
Sounds like things are going pretty well. What challenges do you face, though? I'm sure it's not all, sunshine and roses. Talk to me about challenges you and your team face every day.
The first 2.5, 3 years of it was really hard because I have never run a business before. I know marketing, I don't know business. And so the hardest part has been acquiring business, positioning myself in a way to acquire an ideal client, all while understanding billing, contracts, legal, W-2s and all that I had to set up for my
Sure.
employee.
Sure.
Being a
Yeah.
good boss, being a good leader, making sure I have someone's career in my hands, also fixing our systems, making sure like wearing a billion hats, which I'm usually good at, but that can be overwhelming. But I would say a challenge right now is just getting something that we're working towards, which is why I brought on Amber, or the person that's helping us with sales, is to make sure that we are getting in front of the clients that we want to work with. That's been hard. We're picky, obviously, as we should be, but I also don't want to be too picky to where I don't have business. But it's been hard when you just say yes to clients because you want to work with people, and then like 3 months later, something happens that's out of my control or out of our control, and then we're back to square one. So just kind of that has been a challenge right now.
So you're challenged with the pipeline. You're working on that. You've got a new salesperson who's doing that. What else? What else? What are the other challenges?
I think something that came up last year that I'm still trying to figure out that I know will be ongoing. If I need advice on something, if I, like my friends that are moms, they text each other all the time, like, hey, my baby's doing this, what did you do? They get advice all the time. I do that with my friends with so many subjects. Me running my own social media agency can be very lonely, and I have wonderful support system in terms of encouragement or maybe some advice, but sometimes it's really difficult to not have someone I can be like, hey, so someone that I admire how they did it, that I want to do it in that way as well, that I have access to ask questions. So I kind of have to piecemeal advice from different mentors to figure out which way I'm going, which that can feel difficult. And I know that obviously to a point, every entrepreneur feels that way, but this is such a different, there's so many ways to do social media. There's a billion ways to do it. And there's a billion ways to structure your agency. There's a different, so it can just sometimes feel like, okay, can someone just confirm that I'm doing this correctly?
I tell you, if you're increasing revenue and if you're increasing open rates and if you're filling that pipeline, you're probably a role model. But I hear what you're saying. I had my own consultancy at one point called Connections Research, and my thing was marketing research, consumer marketing research. When I was busy, it was great, but then I'd go home, it was either be on Monday or Thursday or Friday because I traveled a lot moderating focus groups during the week. And you're sitting there and you say, God, I'd like to talk to somebody about this or how they're writing this up
Right.
or how they're dealing with this kind of client issue. And there isn't anyone. It's like you and the clients, and you can't really confide in them
Right.
because to them you're Superwoman, and so it's like, where can you be vulnerable with someone who's either been down that road or is trying to figure it out, that you can just have a nice let down your hair kind of conversation. Talk to me about AI. Are you using AI at all with any of your clients?
Everyone in our industry likes to hate on AI because they say that it's replacing us, right? Like everyone in social media is like, oh my God,
Really?
AI is going to take our jobs, AI, whatever. And I'm like, no, it's not. I am not threatened by AI. I see it as a gift. I mostly use like ChatGPT, like or Gemini or whatever it is. And I always say it's a great way to help me in weaknesses that I have that allows me to then shine more in my strengths. So, for example, I always like to do a sandwich of like start human, get help with AI, whatever, and human. So for example, if I, instead of sitting
Love it.
here for
I
40
love it. That's
minutes,
that's a great social media post though for your LinkedIn profile, by the way.
I'll give it a prompt, right? And I'll say, hey, this client, this is about my client. I treat it as a person. This is the background of my client. This is her vibe. This is what we're doing. And then I take those pointers and I use them as opposed to being like, write an e-blast for my client. I'm not going to ask it to do my work. But if I need some quick ideas, if I need something reviewed, it's such a gift. I love it. So
Oh
I
yeah,
do use it, but I don't use it to replace anything I do. I use it to like enhance it or sometimes polish it. If I'm in a bad headspace or if English isn't working well, hey, can you polish up this email? Wonderful.
are you providing any products or services that are AI that allow your clients to do AI?
No.
Is that something you guys do? No.
No, no, no. It's all we run their social media for them. And one thing I'll say
Okay.
too is with the rise of AI, it actually gives more value to the work we do because we are actual people that are filming content, editing content, and writing the captions for other people. And there's many companies out there that are just using AI to do that. And us, we can recognize it. I know exactly when a robot has done something and when a human has. That the humans doing it is going to be more scarce because the robots are more accessible,
Yeah.
meaning they will pay more for our service. So I'm excited.
Yeah. It's funny. Whenever I write my own emails, I purposefully write them,
Yeah.
even though I could have AI write them because I want them to be Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you find this, but I also find myself figuring out what my writing style is as I do this. And I even crank it up a notch or two so that the receiver knows it's me
Right.
and not AI in this world we live in. So
Oh,
you're out there in the social media world, you're looking at consumers, you're trying to figure out what to say. My podcast is called Signal Over Noise. And what that's all about is separating what's most important from all the chatter and all the noise that's out there, all the distraction. So, as you look out in the world of communicating, is there anything you see that maybe is emerging as being more important or more prevalent? Are you seeing yourself put into your product that maybe you weren't before because you think it's becoming more important with consumers that maybe other people are dismissing?
authenticity, 100%. People are still chasing perfection and the perfect billboard, the perfect photo, the perfect this. Over the past years, I have found myself telling myself and my team, hey, this doesn't have to be this polished. The more human and authentic and normal, the better. Write a caption the way that you would say it out loud, because in that world of over polished captions and everyone's selling at you and ChatGPT helped write this. It's a breath of fresh air when you just read a caption that is as if we're talking over here, like, hey, do this instead of, So I will, authenticity 100%.
Wonderful.